There is no one on this planet whose approval, power, or presence should make you shrink. I used to have debilitating stage fright. I once hid behind a tree to avoid going on stage. And now I speak in front of thousands of people at a time. I used to be homeless, and now I'm in rooms with millionaires on a regular basis. When you have confidence, everything changes. You take more shots, you recover faster than you ever have before, you speak up, you stand out, you make decisions quicker, you stop playing small ball, and you protect your own boundaries. All of these things lead to a higher quality of life. So I'm going to show you 10 things that you can learn in just a few minutes that if you pull even one of them when you're not feeling confident, it'll change how you feel forever. And in that moment, it will give you that confidence boost that you need. The very first one, and these are all, by the way, ones that I use all the time when I'm not feeling confident. The number one is loosen the pickle jar. I call this loosening the pickle jar. This is when you don't just think about how being confident in that moment will help you. You think about how it might help the next person who needs to do that thing. A good example is asking for a raise at a job. You may not get that raise, but if you can say, well, maybe I loosened the pickle jar for someone else. I made a move that got someone else closer. Maybe I don't even know them. Maybe I'll never see them, but I made that move. To me, when I'm feeling my lowest, I think about who else could benefit from my bravery in that moment. The second thing I want you to do, and if you take nothing else away, this second one is absolutely clutch. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so that you don't miss any of my helpful videos. The next one is lowering your own stakes. What do I mean by that? When you go into a negotiation or you go into a room or a situation that has stakes, high stakes for you, you are not going to perform at your best because you feel too much pressure. So if you can mentally prepare yourself prior to going into that situation and lower your own stakes by saying, if this doesn't work out, I will be okay. If I have to walk away from this because it doesn't align with what I believe, I will be okay. And I already know that before I even walk into the room or have the call or try to make the sale. It changes everything. This is how I've negotiated $100,000 deals at a time, is because I'm willing to walk away if it doesn't suit me. And yes, of course, sometimes you need that thing you're going after. You feel like the stakes are super high, but you are in your own way sometimes. You have more power and control than you need. The next one is to borrow my confidence. If you feel like I'm really confident, if you've been around a lot or if you see a lot of my videos and you think, hey, I'm confident, just borrow it sometimes. Just think, what would Arlan do in this situation? Is it that serious? Can I just quote unquote borrow it like a piece of jewelry? The next thing, number four, is you're going to do this one rep at a time. You're going to approach intimidating skills like it's in a gym that you don't figure out all at once. You're not, lifting 500 pounds on day one. You do it day after day after day. One little thing, one little action, one little thought is so powerful. And of those three things, um, the thought that you tell yourself, the words you say to yourself, it's the most important thing. Number five is something that I use it every day almost. And that is I make everything an experiment. This video is an experiment. Today will be an experiment. It's not performance. It's not that I'm at the Olympics right now. It's not I must succeed. It's more like let's see what happens. So think about your next offer, your next launch, the next thing you try to sell, the next phone call you have that is, maybe a sales call. What if that could be more like, let's see what happens. Let's see what I learn. Let's see if what I thought, if my hypotheses was correct. Like you're in the lab rather than this has to work or it's all or nothing. I see people in my comments every single day talking about this is my last shot. This is my only shot. I have to do this or it doesn't work. That's not true. That is holding you back and that is lowering your confidence because how can you win with such pressure on yourself every day? Number 6 is separate who you are from what is happening. Separate your identity from success, essentially. A result is just a data point, not a verdict on what you're worth. So failure feeds, uh, it's a failure feedback loop. If you keep telling yourself, I'm failing, I'm failing, I'm failing, then you're constantly putting yourself in that position. But if you can say, that thing happened today. I don't love it, but it happened. And it's one data point. You know what else is another data point? Number 7, which is anchor your own past wins, because that too is a data point. The data is what have I done already? 2 or 3 years ago, what did I handle really well and it worked out? You have experienced a lot. You contain multitudes. You are a lot of things at once. You are not just your last quote unquote failure. So let's talk about your last win. And you're not just your last win either. You are a culmination of all of the things that you are and experience and feel and do, and the people who love you. That is who you are. Think about that. Think about what you have accomplished and don't sell yourself short. We're doing a 5-day challenge inside of your first 5K right now. And I'm telling everybody, and you can, in the link in the description, you can join us, a free 7-day trial. But I'm telling everyone in it to stop being so hard on themselves. You are here, you're winning by showing up. You're winning by watching the replay. You're winning by taking notes. That should help build your confidence. And if you don't have it yet, borrow some of mine. Number 8 is you're going to flip the spotlight. So you're going to change what will they think of me? What will this person think of me into how can I help them? Think back to when I said I was really, really nervous to get on stage. I mean, I had debilitating stage fright for years until I was in my 30s, my mid 30s. What stopped that, what helped that is I got on stage once and it was a small, small room. And I was so, so nervous. I thought I was going to faint. I thought I was going to pass out. And then I looked out into the audience and I thought, I'd been thinking, what did I get myself into? How can I get out of here? Was fight or flight? But then I looked out into that audience and I saw people looking back at me and they had smiles on their faces and they just wanted to hear how I could help them. Simple as that. Could I give them a tip or a hack that day? Could I pour into them? Could I give them some inspiration? I did all three and I continue to do that over and over again. So anytime I get nervous, I think about who is one person in this audience? Who is one person on this call? Who is one person in my life I can actually help by doing this thing scared? Number 9 is you're going to own the fact that everybody starts from scratch. It's something. Everybody starts at 0. So normalize this beginner phase so it does not make a blow to your identity. It's not like, well, they talk about imposter syndrome, right? A lot of times imposter syndrome is just the fact that you just started it or that you have been there and it's a new situation, but you honestly, if you gave it a little time, you would know how to do it. And you'd probably do it better. I remember when I was in school, I don't know, in grade 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, everybody had to learn how to swim because I was in Texas and everybody had a pool. And everybody had to learn how to swim. And I got there on the middle of the week. It was a 5-day swim lesson. And I didn't have the right clothes. I was poor. It was a whole thing. My hair was messed up. And I got in that pool and I was so scared of water, so scared of drowning because I had an experience prior to that. And I was flapping around and I just came back, for those 3 days that were remaining, those 3 days total that were remaining of the week. And by that 5th day, I won the race when we had the race at the end of it. And it's something that I'll never forget because all I did was I didn't count myself out. I didn't say, well, I'm terrible. I'm a horrible person. Even as a child, I said, well, I'm starting late. And everybody started, on Monday, but they started at 02. So maybe I can at least try to catch up. And I did more than catch up. The 10th thing I want you to remember, and remember to subscribe to this channel. If this has been helpful to you at all, put the word GEM, GEM, put the word GEM in where is it? Here, yeah. Put the word GEM in the comments to let me know that you've heard something. What was a takeaway? So number 10 is you're going to use this idea of investing in your confidence. So I'm an investor. That's what I've been doing for the past 10 years, in addition to being an entrepreneur. And I built a portfolio of more than 200 companies. You can Google me and see what all that's about. But I invest, and that's what we do, right? And you would, if you can invest a little bit of confidence in your deposit, in your fund, your confidence fund, the ROI, the return on investments will be huge. Another way of thinking about it is there's an app you can use and you can buy into Bitcoin and you can just do an automatic payment, $10 a day. And I do that. I kind of use it as a savings because it's going to go up or it's going to go down, whatever. And that's what you do when you look at it. I look at it every month or so, and it's like really compounded because it's either going up or it's going down. This isn't financial advice. It's just an example. But that's what you could think about your confidence fund, your confidence account. You're going to add to it. You're going to go and rewind this and listen to the 9 again. And you're going to think to yourself, what is one of these, just one of these, that I could implement in this moment if I'm not feeling confident? Because we don't have time for imposter syndrome. We do not have time for that. That has been placed on us for far too long. And it is something that we're putting ourselves out of the game before we even get started. And there's so much abundance. There's so much available to us. So much is there. But we're in the corner holding on to the very little we have, cowering and worried about who's going to judge us, if we're good enough. We have the world saying that to us. Why would we say it to ourselves? So when we're in the corner and we're holding on to just a little bit that we have, we don't realize all the abundance in the rest of the room. So I need you to let go, turn around, and observe and understand that you deserve as much, if not more, but it's certainly as much as the next person. If nothing else, you deserve parity. So don't count yourself out with imposter syndrome on day one.